Google Maps gives the quickest route to Rotherhithe Tunnel as heading south along Gray's Inn Road for 1 mile after leaving King's Cross Station, a road I've wandered many times. But I tend to use their routes as a loose framework and veer off course at a whim. Plus I can't bear the hideous Tudor staple in at the end of Gray's Inn Road. The only thing worse than Tudor is mock Tudor. It's the devil's work. This dread of Tudor architecture influenced me left along Acton Street shortly after joining Gray's Inn Road, continuing south east to the corner of Farringdon Road and Cowthorpe Street, where, at Folio Gardens, 650 affordable homes are under construction. Only joking. The asking price for a one-bedroom flat is £1,085,000. Glancing into St John's Square, an alleyway caught my eye. Jerusalem Passage lies between grimy bricked structures linking St John's Square and Aylesbury Street. There's even a pub in the passage, the Dovetail. Could this alleyway be any more London? Apparently the pub has 100 varieties of Belgian beers available. I can't vouch for this, as Erased Culture videos have no budget for beer bacchanalia. There's barely a budget for lunch. Having mentioned grimy bricks, let's revel in the positively filthy boundary wall of the former Charterhouse and St Bartholomew's Hospital Medical College, which the British History Online website lists as a 1950s fabrication. Another square, Finsbury, but we've reached the city now, so it's a capitalist pig dog square. In this square sits Smith's drinking fountain, presented to the parish of St Luke by Thomas and Walter Smith to commemorate their mother Martha's life. Their father Thomas is said to have invented the Christmas cracker, inspired by the crackling of his fire. Thomas Smith and Company had premises in Finsbury Square until the 1950s, when the company merged with Cayley Crackers and moved to Norwich. Xavier Corbeau's The Broad family sculpture is situated on Broadgate Circle. I made a terrible walk-around video of this piece in April 2013, which I've linked in this video's description, and I'm still making terrible videos 9 years later. The Broad family is not great art, but I've seen much worse, mostly by Tracy Emin. The only thing I've discovered about these pleasing painted columns supporting the Docklands Light Rail Bridge at the end of Leman Street is 2 sentences on the Exploring East London website, stating they're on the 1 Mile East Arts Trail and were part of Look Ahead's urban regeneration project. Once vibrant, now faded, peeling paint on a simply detailed entrance. The ground floor facade of Wilton's Music Hall is the essence of shabby chic. I'm partial to theatres and periodically ask the King of Glasgow to arrange one for us to look around for the yearly Glasgow video, but he makes no effort. He's such a disappointment to me. Wilton's has far too much history to cover in a wandering video, so I urge you to visit their website, linked below, from which I learned Frankie Goes to Hollywood shot their video for Relax there, also linked below. Navigating Cable Street, a young man smiled and saluted me before entering a block of flats. Art gallery punters like myself are obviously much respected around these parts. Maybe he thought my bohemian attire signalled I was part of the artist community, utilising the Cable Street Studios and Art Gallery, a once Victorian-built sweet factory which belonged to Batcher and Company. In 2009, Sudbury Properties applied to refurbish the factory, creating 100 artist studios spanning the 4 stories along Cable Street. The ground floor corner section would be retail, with 12 live-work units above. Behind the factory, on the same plot, 2 residential tower blocks were envisaged, one 14 stories and the other 24, with a 6-storey link block between them. Unsurprisingly, no provision was made for affordable housing. The application was turned down. I finally found the Northern Rotherhithe Tunnel pedestrian entrance down steps at the southern end of Butcher Row, adjacent to St James Gardens. Having descended the steps, I wrapped a thick scarf around my face to protect against exhaust fumes and prepared to enter the mouth of the beast. The 1,482 metres tunnel was constructed between 1904 and 1908, being officially opened on June 12, 1908. Construction costs for the single bore design were about £1 million. There are two narrow lanes with traffic flow opposing each other at maximum permitted speeds of 20 miles per hour. Footpaths sandwich the carriageway, which due to the tunnel's small diameter are precariously inadequate. With the real danger, an errant driver could mount the curb and pin you against the tunnel wall, which is only tiled at the northern half because they kept falling off at the southern half, where a different tiling contractor was engaged. Walking the tunnel is not recommended due to insufficient ventilation, causing the trapped fumes my scarf struggled to repel, and loitering is positively discouraged. Pedestrian access was available from two air shafts via iron staircases, but these were closed in the 1970s due to low usage and safety concerns. The no longer used stairs received Grade 2 listing in 1983. The tunnel is longer than I imagined, and when I thought the end must be in sight, this sign informed I had the final quarter still to complete. Eventually, light was glimpsed and I emerged none the worse, bar a slight stinging in my eyes, up the steps beside 65 Albion Street. Walking the Rotherhithe tunnel is probably not the essential London experience, unless you appreciate grime, carbon monoxide and the real danger of a car ploughing into you.